When you're dealing with an insurance claim, it's not just about knowing how to do the work. It's about knowing how to document the loss, how to communicate the damage, how to write the estimate properly, what to say, what not to say, and how to present everything in a format carrier can actually look at and justify. It's like documenting a crime scene. And that matters because insurance companies do not operate off of vague one-page estimate that came out of QuickBooks that says, hey, replace roof, repair water damage, or one big lump sum number. That may work in retail construction. It does work in retail construction, but it does not work in insurance. Not when the insurance company gets audited. They have to justify this stuff. Insurance needs to be detailed, line item, professionally written. And in today's world, the carrier wants structure. They want quantity, scope, trade separation, and support for what is actually being requested. That's why professional programs like Xactimate matter. Not because the software does the job for you, but because it gives the estimate format, detail, credibility needed to move through the process. And unfortunately, I've had this conversation. I can already hear the old heads talking now. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been doing it for 45 years, 60 years. We don't use those programs. We use lump sum pricing. But in today's world, that mindset is exactly why contractors don't get much approved. The game's changed. If you don't pivot, your client is the one that pays the price. Guys, it's not about ego. This is not about doing it the old way because the old way's always been done, because that's how it's always been done and that's how it works. It's about protecting the client. It's about helping them restore their loss correctly, documenting the job, putting the job together, putting an estimate together that can actually survive the review that the insurance are going to give it, than construction. A contractor on an insurance job needs to know more. That's it. They need to know how to document the damage, identify overlooked items, write the proper line item estimate, support the supplements, communicate with the adjuster professionally, keep the job moving without hurting the homeowner. At the end of the day, the goal is not fighting just to fight. The goal is restoring the loss to the property owner. And that only happens when everybody works together. The owner, the contractor, the carrier, with good communication, good documentation, a real scope, and a professional estimate. That's how you protect your client. That is how you get better results, and that is how insurance work is supposed to be handled. If I helped you guys at all today, follow HH Construction for real-world insurance claim advice, roofing restoration, and construction content.